What's up, XO? It is now 2023, a new year. Now, what we naturally do, well, the first thing that we naturally do is think like, damn, it's been a year already? Feels like it was only a month. The other thing that we do is reflect on the past year, 2022, and what has occurred then. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is briefly reflecting on the Weeknd's 2022 year and what he has done in that year. After reflecting on it and kind of giving you some highlights of 2022, I'm going to say what I think were the Weeknd's best moments of 2022, as well as what I think was his worst moments of 2022. After those 2 points, then I'll go to giving what I think was the biggest surprises that the Weeknd did in 2022, as well as kind of an over-under. Did the Weeknd overachieve in 2022, or did he underachieve in 2022? After all that said and done, I'm just going to give what our expectations should be for this year, and what do I think that the Weeknd's going to do this year in 2023. Now, with that being said, let's get started. Now, the first thing that occurred in 2022 was the release and dropping of Dawn FM. Now, for 2021, we all knew that the Weeknd had something coming up when he went on stage and said, "After Hours is done, the Dawn is coming." We all assumed the album's name was The Dawn, which ended up being Dawn FM. But we're all wondering, like, hey, what's gonna happen? What's going on? What album is coming? When is this album coming? The Weeknd never really gave us any kind of heads up on it in 2021. And then around September or November time or so, he dropped the first single as well as music video to the Dawn FM, which was Take My Breath, the radio version. The song was amazing. It was dancing. One of my favorite songs. One of the songs I probably listened to the most that year of 2021. But after that, the Weeknd kind of went silent. Now, he did go and do some features on other people's projects, such as like Tears in the Club and like On One Night with Post Malone, or Forgive Me. Those aren't the Weeknd's songs, those are just features, so you know. But he did some features that were somewhat underwhelming. However, he did have one feature that did kind of hook and catch people in 2021, and that was Moths to a Flame. And that kind of led us into January. The Weeknd says, alright, I'm dropping my album, and without, kind of on short notice, then the Weeknd drops the album Dawn FM. A lot of people were like, I don't know about this one. In part due to the fact that the Weeknd only had one single for the album, and another part due to the fact that we didn't, like I said, with that one single, we didn't really know what to expect with this album. After Hours has brought on a lot of new fans for the Weeknd, in which they don't understand that the Weeknd changes his sound, changes his style. He does things different every album, even character. So a lot of people thought that this would be After Hours Part 2, but it ended up being its own separate thing. Now, after the drop and the releasing of Dawn FM, we then move into the Weeknd releasing, I believe, 4 music videos, one being Sacrifice, one being Gasoline, one being Out of Time, one being How Do I Make You Love Me. All music videos, pretty good, not bad music videos. I actually thoroughly enjoyed them. Sacrifice was pretty good. Gasoline, you already know. Out of Time. How Do I Make You Love Me was one that probably caught my eye the most because it was in an animated form. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I did do a video breakdown of that music video because I was intrigued with the symbolism in that video. Check that out if you want on my page. Then we go into the Weeknd doing a Dawn FM experience, partnering up with Amazon to do this amazing live performance with things happening around him. It's like he's going through this purgatory while singing live, and he's just letting everybody know that he can sing. This man can sing. Also dressed in old man gear. And I actually this is kind of all over the place, but kind of jump back to the Dawn FM album release. The Weeknd also did an album watch party where he did dress as the old man figure, the character for Dawn FM album, and he did kind of act as a DJ while debuting those songs. But after the Dawn FM experience, we got the Simpsons episode where the Weeknd was some little kid that skateboarded and wore Bape or whatever new clothing brand it was, as well as being the dad for that kid too. The episode wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the American Dad I'm a Virgin episode where we got that great song I Am a Virgin. It was alright though. It happened. After that we got the tour dates. Now before the start of the tour, there was a little bit of a hiccup in Canada, which caused a huge outrage and a lot of people got upset. But after that, moving on from that, the tour went on and it was freaking amazing. I myself got to go to one of the tour dates, one of the greatest tours I've ever seen in my life. Like I said, just seeing the Weeknd grow, and with this tour eclipsing what he did at the Super Bowl and seeing the elements that he did add to this After Hours Till Dawn tour, it was freaking amazing. Some of you may not know, I've been to one of the Weeknd's tours back in the My Dear Melancholy days. It was like 4 or 5 years ago, and just seeing him there, where it was him with a microphone and flashy lights. Then seeing the Super Bowl where he started doing set designs, to now this After Hours Till Dawn tour where you see him with a set design, singing with the microphone, his beautiful vocals, as well as having backup dancers or side dancers, and pretty much creating this big atmosphere. It's amazing. One of the great tours. If you can go, even though now it's overseas, but hey, you gotta get that passport and fly, go do it. This tour did also have another hiccup in which the Weeknd lost his voice. That was a very unfortunate moment. Thankfully, it wasn't serious or crazy. He had a lot of people that were mad, a lot of people that were sad, but like I said, nothing's wrong with his voice. He's all good. He did do makeup dates, but that was another little hiccup. He also had the Idol show. I don't know if the show is playing or not, but it was a thing. Idol, you saw a lot of previews for it and getting you in the mood, and it looks like a very interesting show. You saw the Weeknd with the little ponytail. Very interesting show. I don't know if it dropped yet or not, but HBO Max, I'm not promoting it because I don't even have it, but it looks like an interesting show. Then we also had the Halloween Horror Nights, the Weeknd's After Hours Haunted House at the University Studio Studio Parks. Now I'm disappointed that I didn't get to go. However, the videos that I've seen of it was very amazing. It was amazing seeing the Weeknd's After Hours theme get taken and put into a horror kind of genre or element, because it did have an element of horror, and that was very amazing to see this past year. Now, another thing while we're talking or on the topic of Halloween, the Weeknd did not show up with a Halloween costume. Man, that was crazy. That was a big surprise. We're all sitting there refreshing Instagram. Like, all right, when's the Weeknd gonna come up with his costume? But he ended up not having a Halloween costume this year. So after that, we got a song called "Creepin'," in which the Weeknd did with Metro Boomin. Amazing song, great song that I enjoyed. It was a cover song, but the Weeknd turned back the clock with that R&B aesthetic sound. Him in his best form right there. After that, we had the 10-year anniversary of Trilogy, the compilation mixtape, in which the Weeknd threatened to pull it from all of the streaming services so that fans can appreciate so fans can appreciate his mixtapes and not smash them all together. He wants us to appreciate each individual mixtape for what they are, and also the original samples of them, rather than lumping them all together and just saying trilogy. Trilogy's the best album. After that, we had the Avatar 2 soundtrack song. This song played at the end of Avatar, and it's the theme song for the Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. Now that's kind of like I said, a brief recap of The Weeknd's 2022 year. As you can see, it was a very big year. He's done a lot of stuff. Now for me, the best moments of that year, one being Dawn FM dropping. Now though Dawn FM dropping was kind of, the album itself was amazing, but kind of the build up to the album was a little bit shaky because you didn't really see too much promotion. He didn't really push too much promotion behind it. And even afterwards, there's some songs he still haven't necessarily pushed. However, the album itself was one of his best moments, one of the highest streaming albums, and it also made The Weeknd the highest streaming artist on Spotify of 2022 because of Dawn FM dropping. So that was a very big highlight, just getting new music from The Weeknd, which is surprising, and especially when you don't really expect it either. Another highlight of 2022 was The Weeknd's tour actually going. Like I said, we went through a postponement of the After Hours tour to a full-on canceling of the After Hours tour to a whole new album dropping, and him combining both of these things and finally giving us a tour. And I kind of forgot to mention, well, he did Coachella, I believe, this year too, before the tour. So that was kind of a warm-up to his tour. But nevertheless, the tour was freaking amazing. On Halloween Horror Nights was a very big surprise, or one of the big moments this year too, just seeing somebody take The Weeknd's creation and bring it to that kind of setting. Another big moment was Trilogy turning 10 years old. I apologize, got a little cold. But yeah, the Trilogy turned 10 years old. That's a very big moment. 10 years of excellence from The Weeknd, which is pretty darn amazing. The Dawn FM experience is a very big moment too. That's one of the best moments too. Just like I said, The Weeknd reminding us that he can sing live without all these backtracks and stuff, as well as not even just sitting and singing to a microphone. He's moving around, he's interacting. It's almost like he's going through a haunted house. Those are some of to me, the best moments, as well as How Do I Make You Love Me music video. That was amazing too, just seeing a different spin. It's always interesting to see those animated music videos. Now, The Weeknd's worst moments, I think, were obviously those couple of tour hiccups. When he lost his voice, that was terrible. You never want to see that. As well as The Weeknd, though it wasn't necessarily his fault, but that venue in Toronto having security issues, and like I said, after the show was postponed and then canceled, and then the first show not to even be ready or set up, or him not being able to perform the first show, that was one of the worst moments. Another one of the worst moments, I think, really the last worst moment for me, would be The Weeknd's response to like the Trilogy compilation mixtape turning 10. I get what he was doing. What he was doing is trying to bring us fans, make us fans more aware that there is actually 3 mixtapes, not a full. It's a compilation album, but appreciate them as mixtapes, 3 separate mixtapes. Stop compiling them together. But I think that was one of his worst moments. I get what he was trying to do, but I think him threatening to take it off of the streaming services and stuff, rather than, well, he kind of educated fans, but he could have done it better and not, because it was, like I said, a big moment, and some people didn't know that those were separate mixtapes. Another one of his best moments was, like I said, that Avatar 2 thing, but I'll get into that. against it. But yeah, so those were really the Weeknd's 3 worst moments. Now the biggest surprise was Dawn FM Experience. That was amazing. How Do I Make You Love Me video. But another big surprise was the Creepin'. Creepin' was a very big surprise. Didn't expect the Weeknd to actually do a very good feature in this day and age at this time, especially a cover and sound like that type of R&B. That was amazing. Another big surprise was the Avatar 2. Avatar 2 soundtrack was did not expect that. Heck, I didn't even expect the movie to come out, but to hear that is amazing. His voice headlining that billion-dollar franchise, multi-billion-dollar franchise, was amazing. And also, like I said, the Weeknd not dressing up for Halloween, that's crazy. Man, he's kind of been a staplement of Halloween, and for him to be a no-show, that was a big surprise. Actually, that was the worst moment too. One thing I'm just throwing here real quick, Song of the Year. For me personally, Song of the Year is Sacrifice. But after going to that tour and that show, Song of the Year is actually Less Than Zero, because the fans' reaction to Less Than Zero, only surpassed by one song, being Blinding Lights. Less Than Zero was a crowd. Everybody knew it. Everybody was going. The lights were flashed. It was crazy. It was amazing. So Less Than Zero is the EXO Song of the Year. However, when I talk about just mainstream, the Weeknd Song of the Year, it's Sacrifice. So it's a toss up between those two. Kind of over or under. The Weeknd overperformed this year. Like I said, he could have just kept riding out the after hours days, or he could even kept riding out that compilation highlights CD. But what he did was drop a new album. He released music videos. He gave us the Dawn FM Experience. He started the tour. He gave us Simpson episodes, Idol, Halloween Horror Nights, a couple of features. He's done a lot. Heck, even soundtracks this year. The Weeknd achieved a lot this year. It's something that I very much appreciate. Now, what I expect him to do in 2023, well, obviously he's going to finish the second leg of his tour, the overseas portion. He's going to do that. I expect him to do that, and maybe he'll chill and relax, After that, maybe he'll take a little break, because he has been moving around a lot. But I would not be surprised if he drops new music. Now, I'm not saying an album. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops a track or two, because he did, after his Arizona show, say that he was inspired again. You never know with the Weeknd. That's it. Hope y'all enjoy this year. Keep pounding.